What's good, YouTube? It's MONEYMAY International. Video in today's video, we're gonna be ranking all of Playboi Carti's scrap verses. All right, as many of you guys do know, Carti has a ton of scrap verses that are simply just existing, floating around in this universe that realistically have no purpose in 2024. Whether it's him not clearing the verse and that verse will never be dropped on the official album, or him sending in a verse and it just doesn't make the cut, or an artist putting it as a vinyl exclusive. So we're gonna start off. You guys know how it goes. S, A, B, C, D, F. S is the best of the best, the top of the top. This is like the god tier that I needed this verse to make the cut. A is a very good that I would like to have it. B and C are kind of like the mid category to whether I could care less if it made it or didn't make it. And the D and F tier is me just simply just not enjoying the verse and glad it didn't make the cut. All right, so we're gonna be starting off with Trippie Red's Musik. Now this is one of the first times that we've ever heard the deep voice from Carti. I believe it was around late 2022 to I'd say early 2023 when we first heard the deep voice. I feel like the first ever song we've heard from the deep voice from Carti was Mr. Miyagi, but this was going to be like the first official release under the deep voice from Carti. Everybody thought Carti was going to be on Trippie's album. Then it came out, I believe, by maybe a Trippie Red producer or somebody within his camp saying Carti just simply did not clear the verse and did not want that verse out there. Eventually it leaked and everybody lost their mind, like, one, what the hell is Carti's on? Because this is one of the first times as Carti fans we've ever heard this deep voice like on an official track, right? And then two, why the hell did he not clear this? Because he snapped on this. The Mansion Me, oh my, bro, he went crazy. This verse is crazy. I'm gonna put this at S tier. He went stupid on this verse. He went dumb. I enjoyed the deep voice off rip. I was like, yo, Carti's coming crazy with this new deep voice. He ran this verse to the ground. Trippie eventually released a song, I believe solo, but it just never hit the same. This beat was crazy and Carti's deep voice went stupid on this. Easily, I think this would go S tier. This verse is much needed and I can't believe Carti didn't clear it. Now, I believe the reason as to why Carti didn't clear it because this would have been the official release of the deep voice. This would have been the first ever deep voice Playboi Carti song. I believe this album dropped like January 2023 or late 2022. So that would have been the first case of the Carti deep voice. And you know, now in 2024, this Musik deep voice doesn't really sound like the deep voice that we got in 2024. I believe Carti was probably experimenting, trying out different new things, and it just was not yet time for the official release of the new voice. But Musik, S tier, Trippie Red, this verse was stupid. Now we got Blick Sum, which was supposed to be on Latto's project. Now, everybody was hyping it up because in Latto's album trailer, she teased this. She teased Carti's ad-libs, I believe, and everybody was like, yo, that's gotta be one person, right? It's just gotta be Carti. There's no other person who has ad-libs like that. And eventually it was Carti. It was hyped up. Carti was gonna be on Latto's album. So everybody was hyped, but also on edge a little because what the hell is a Carti x Latto song going to sound like? Now, Latto's album did drop and it was found out that Carti did not clear the verse once again. People were saying he did that because this was like prime Ice Spice Latto beef. So I'm guessing Carti didn't want to switch sides. That was what the majority of the community was saying. I don't know if that's true. All I know is this verse did not officially come out. But then a couple days later, after Latto's album did drop, it eventually leaked. Now I say leaked in quotations because I don't think hackers got this. I don't think the insiders got this. I think this was leaked from Latto's camp. In my opinion, I think they leaked it on purpose just to give Latto a look like, yo, she had a Carti verse on her album. The Carti verse was hard. Let me go check out her album. Maybe it led to a couple streams. Who knows? But I think that's how the whole Blick Sum song got leaked in my opinion. But the song Blick Sum, he went stupid on this. I believe this song's still going crazy on TikTok. Everybody loved this verse. I thought it was cool. I wasn't really too crazy on it, but I would have definitely loved for it to be an official release. But as we all know, I'm gonna say it a million times in this video, Carti did not clear the verse, so we're just stuck with the leak. But the leak is hard. It was cool. I'd personally rate this verse like an 8, 9 out of 10. He ran this. This was dope. Carti x Latto, this would have been a pretty dope song. But yeah, I'd say this is A for me because I don't think it's mid and it's definitely not trash, but I definitely would have loved to seen this on Latto's album. Too bad it didn't, but that's Blick Sum, A tier right there. Now we're going into Singapore, which is a song on Ken Carson's AGC, A Great Chaos album. This was supposed to be essentially the first Ken Lone Carti official song to come out. When AGC dropped October of 2023. I believe this verse leaked not too long ago. I'm gonna say around late summer 2024 to around early fallish. is when this verse leaked, and everybody was like, no way Carti was actually on the song. Now, honestly, this verse isn't really too long because it hasn't really officially leaked. I believe it was only like maybe like 10 seconds of Carti's verse, but a lot of people weren't really rocking with it, to be honest. A lot of people truly enjoyed the song the way it was and did not enjoy, you know, the 10-second Carti snippet that came out of it. But in my opinion, I think Ken did the right thing of not putting this on the album, whether it was Carti not clearing it or Ken just simply not wanting it on this album. I don't really think it was needed because we've seen how big Ken Carson's album went. Now, if he did have a Carti feature, how much could he have sold? That's another question. But I definitely do think this Carti verse would have helped out for sure. Me personally, I enjoy the song the way it is. Ken Lone, I could live without this feature, to be quite honest. A lot of people didn't really like the voice Carti chose to hop on this beat, but in my opinion, I'm gonna put this at C tier because I could really care less if this verse made the album or not. The song's great either way. If it did made the album, that would have been just insane. That would have been a huge moment. Like, Ken sold 50K. This is his best album ever. This album grew him like 10x, and then he had a Carti feature with Lone on the same song. Ken, Lone, Carti all in one song. That would have been a crazy moment. So I would have loved to see this drop, but the song's great either way, so who really cares, right? Now we're gonna move into Rock Out with Offset, which I believe is a snippet Offset previewed at his listening party prior to the album dropping. He teased this song, somebody got a snippet, it was put out, everybody was going crazy. Yo, Carti and Offset is back. Me personally, I think Carti x Offset are the best duo together sonically. Song for song, I got Carti x Offset over Carti x Uzi. I sort of, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I really think Carti x Offset songs are better than Carti x Uzi. Song for song, obviously not chemistry and outside of music, but song for song, I got Carti x Offset songs over 1629 songs in my opinion. That's just my thought. But when I seen Carti x Offset, I already knew it was gonna be crazy. They're a crazy duo. But me personally, the first time I heard this snippet, I wasn't really the biggest fan of it. I don't really like this beat, and I think the whole rock out, rock out, rock out, rock out, I'm just not really a fan of it. I don't like this snippet whatsoever. Now, speaking for the community, I know the Carti community loved this snippet, and everybody still wants this snippet to this day. And it was found out that, once again, I believe Offset said it on Kaisa Nat's stream or some interview. He said Carti did not clear the verse once again, but I thought this should have eventually released because this was teased around the time when Carti was on his crazy feature run. He was coming off the Future and Metro song, he was coming off Carnival, he was coming off all that crazy feature run he did like spring of 2024. So we all thought, okay, this is going to be the next one. It makes sense. Carti and Offset both have a lot of songs together. They seem like they're good friends. This would have been dope. Everybody seemed to react to the snippet in a positive light. Me personally, not the biggest fan of this snippet. Don't really care if it did come out, and if it did come out, I probably wouldn't have streamed it. So I'm personally, I know people aren't gonna like this, I'm gonna put at C. I'm not the biggest fan of the Rock Out snippet. I stand on that till this day in Q4 2024. I'm not the biggest fan of the Rock Out snippet, but I know the Carti community would have loved this and streamed this like crazy. So it sucks that Carti did not clear because Offset's album would have got a lot more streams, and we've seen him compete with Ken. But that's that. Now we're going into Solo Dolo Part 4, which is a snippet Kid Cudi did preview at one of his tours. And we did find out that Kid Cudi was trying to get this song on his album. And once again, Carti did not clear the verse. And I believe Kid Cudi was like ranting about it on Twitter. But when Kid Cudi first previewed this snippet, everybody lost their minds. This snippet was insane. Carti ran this and everybody just reacted in the most positive light because this snippet was crazy. Now, I believe Kid Cudi previewed this at his previous tour prior to this album Insano dropping. So a lot of people were like, yo, it's probably never dropping. Kid Cudi previewed it and nobody knew if Cudi was gonna drop an album ever again. And obviously we knew Carti wasn't gonna drop the song. So we're like, this song's probably scrapped. And then when Kid Cudi started his album rollout for this album called Insano, which dropped in January of 2024, people were like, yo, Solo Dolo Part 4 might have a chance of dropping. And that's when that whole Kid Cudi tweet came about. Carti did not clear it. Eventually, I believe in spring of this year, the song did leak. I don't know how much it leaked for, but I'm pretty sure it leaked for a decent amount. But Solo Dolo Part 4, everybody loved this. I needed this. This verse from Carti was crazy. He ran this. The whole community wanted this. I'm going to put this, I don't know about S or A. I gotta go S, not gonna lie. It is on Mansion Music quality in my opinion. he went dumb on this. He went stupid on this. This beat was insane. Cudi did his thing on it, but it eventually leaked. And once again, Carti did not clear the feature. So now we're going into two songs where I believe Carti did approve of the feature. We haven't really seen anything where it said Carti did not approve of this feature. But these two songs turned out to be vinyl exclusives, to where the album officially came out, but their verse on streaming platforms never came through. But if you did buy the vinyl, the physical vinyl CD, and you played it, Carti's verse is on there. So Thought I Was Dead on Tyler the Creator's Chromacopia. If you listen to the song on Spotify or Apple Music, the song Thought I Was Dead does not have a Carti feature. But if you did buy the vinyl, then there is a Carti feature on this. And when I first heard this, I wasn't really too moved by it. I'm glad this Carti verse didn't really come out officially. Essentially, it did come out, but it didn't really come out officially on streaming, right? So it's essentially kind of like a scrap verse, whatever you want to call it. Who cares, right? But Thought I Was Dead, honestly, I wasn't really too crazy on this verse. I just don't really like this beat, and I don't really think Carti slid. It was cool. It was just mid in my opinion. I'm gonna put it at D. I'm not really the biggest fan of it. I didn't really see a lot of talk about it within the community, to where people were just like starving for this verse, like we need this, we need this. And I didn't really see the demand or craze for this verse within the community. I think a lot of people just thought it was cool, Carti verse on a Tyler album, whatever. I don't think anybody reacted to it too crazy. I do think people love Blick Sum and Rock Out and all of these verses way more than Thought I Was Dead. Thought I Was Dead, to me, it's a whatever song. I didn't really care for it, and honestly, I'm glad that it didn't officially release. Now we're going into same thing with Yayo. I've been off opium for the last 10 days. If you know, you know. This was around peak V2 baby voice era. This is like high-pitched baby voice era. When you think of that era, you're thinking of Yayo. I've been off opium for the last 10 days. Me personally, I love this verse. I really like this verse, and I'm a huge fan of that high-pitched Yayo baby voice V2 whole lot of red type era that Carti did go on. And me personally, I think he ran this. Now, was he saying a whole lot of stuff? No, it was really a whole lot of BS. Like, I couldn't really name you 2 bars that Carti said within this verse, but it was hard. It was hard either way. I'm putting it at A tier. Now, it's the same thing as Thought I Was Dead, to where it's not officially on streaming platforms, but if you did buy the vinyl, you can listen to the verse till this day, all right? So Yayo, me personally, I'm a big fan of it. I know this is a controversial one because there's really no middle ground, right? It's either you love this verse or you just completely despise and you just hate it. And I'm a huge fan of it. I think he ran Yayo. I'm a big fan of Yayo. But if you guys like the video, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know where you would rank these songs on your own tier list. Remember, it's my opinion. But now looking at it, the only thing that I would probably change is Yayo. I gotta put Yayo S tier. This is just like peak V2 Carti. But if you guys like the video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's MONEYMAY or Zay, and I'm out. Thank you guys.